And joining us in the studio is Mcebo Dlamini. He is the Wits former SRC president and a student activist. Thanks so much, Mcebo, for your time. Just your reaction to the poll. Earlier on, we had you on record saying that this is something that is not implementable. In other words, they can't enforce the opinion poll. Why are you of this view?
Well, thank you for having us. You know, the university is very disingenuous here. They know that the polls were very flawed, and there were a lot of discrepancies in the voting system itself, in that students could vote for more than 3 times. Other students voted 5 times. And we raised these concerns with the university to say, then how are you then going to ensure the numbers? Because people, those who have money, could have voted more than 1,000 times. So, I mean, it's absurd for the university then to rely on such a flawed system.
Did you yourself receive an SMS to vote?
Well, I did receive an SMS to vote.
And were you able, did you test whether you were able to vote more than once?
I rejected the system. This was a very useless process, very useless process that has no significance or no meaning to what is happening on the ground. It was the university wasting our time.
Yeah, indeed. But the university management feels vindicated, saying that, you see, the majority of students want to study and complete and sit for their degrees. They're only being held to ransom by a minority protesting students.
Well, again, the university we took the university to court, if you remember, to interdict a referendum, to which we won the case because this moved from being a referendum to an opinion poll. You can't then use an opinion to vindicate yourself. And again, if they say, because they went to court and they used apartheid language to say there's a silent majority, of which, what is a silent majority? Now, Wits has got about 38,000 to 40,000 students. Now, they are saying that 16,000 voted to go back to class. Then the 16,000 is not the majority. So how are they then vindicated? Because the 16,000 is not the majority. The majority of the students still didn't vote, which means they might have not voted because they rejected the process. Like myself, I didn't vote because I didn't have time to waste. And again, if the university, those who did computer science, will tell you that if then they used computer to count the polls, then it means then how a computer is being programmed in such processes, it takes a yes or no. What about those who were writing EO Solomon, those who were writing quite a number of things, those who were sending pictures? It means those votes were spoiled, because the computer doesn't count those. I mean, the process was flawed.
Well, they also have a credible auditing firm,
which is those? Was it even there? Remember that this is the very same university that lied to the public and said that they have spoken to the IEC to oversee the elections. And when the IEC was conducted, they said they know nothing about this. Adam Habib goes to Sizwe Kobotlo because he owns shares there. We know that he owns 23% of that auditing firm. So, I mean, the university is just wasting our money, wasting our time, trying to divide students, instead of us engaging and trying to find an amicable solution on the ground, so that how do we move on from here? And it makes a huge mistake to say that there is a certain clique that doesn't want to go back to class. We all want to go back to class. We all want to graduate and leave, but we can't go back to class up until our demands are met. Not that we don't want to go back to class.
You make very, very serious claims, but let's take a caller. Jacob, thanks. You calling in Pretoria. Thanks for your patience. And what's your comment or question?
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What's your view?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I just would like to pose a question to is it Mr. Dlamini?
Correct.
Okay.
Please turn down your TV, so Jacob. It's giving us feedback. Yeah, TV.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Carry on.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we're still here.
Yeah, I just would like to know how many people represent all the students in Wits in the name of SRC counselors. Because every every person, we are looking at TV, and every person is standing in front of the television cameras, talking a lot of nonsense, basically. We'd like to know who is actually running the university in terms of representing all the aspirations of the students, because our children's future is in danger. Are these people fighting for something that we don't know, or are they genuinely fighting for university fees for the poor of the poorest? Are they fighting for everybody to get free education, because that you can only get in a parallel universe? It won't happen in next week or next year. I think the Vice Chancellor there is correct. This is a process. It is not an event. It has to take a lot of time so that all these issues can be addressed. We as parents, we know that, we wish that everybody shouldn't pay any fees at the university. But these guys, the very same person that you are with there, is actually destroying our children's future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacob. Bahauta in Katlehong, hello to you.
Hello.
Hi. What's your comment or question?
Oh, I do understand that as much as I favor the Fees Must Fall campaign, but then one thing that I don't understand is that if we want fees to be funded by the state, why aren't we marching to the state rather than wasting our time stopping academics, rather than us going back to school and studying and continuing? Because other people, they are relying on this. Their kids are supposed to be graduating this year. Their kids are supposed to go back and work. But then the problem is that if the strike continues, that means everything's going to fall apart.
All right, yeah, thanks so much. Sorry to interrupt you. There's a lot resting on your shoulders. Won't you just deal with the comments of Mcebo, starting with
the first caller doesn't need any response. He needs to conscientize himself. He's an unconscious old man that is a danger to his own kids and to the republic.
No, but he makes a valid point.
There's no valid point. There's no valid point that he made there.
Yeah, but I'm saying in your strategy, let me make this point,
yeah.
Sorry. In your strategy, you must be planning for worst case scenario. In other words, if the university management doesn't give in to your demands of free education
demands are not from
immediately.
the university.
No, I'm saying from the students. And you are prevented from protesting on the school, whichever way they plan to do it. You must have a worst-case scenario in your strategy.
Well, listen, let me say this to you. I mean, he can't then come here and talk about how many people you represent and what have you.
It's a valid question, though. How many? Is it a multiple
it's a question
number
that
of
doesn't
leaders?
even need us to entertain. I can't entertain such people. They're a waste of time, because a lot of people, once you are voted, you are in office. It doesn't matter. The majority has taken you there. Even the current government was not voted by everyone. A lot of other people refrain from voting.
Why don't you simply just answer the question?
No, because
if you
it's
have
useless. It's a very useless question.
Figure.
These are the parents who are suffering from, I don't know, whatever that they are suffering from. They are delaying the revolution, because the issue here, it's the matter that in as much as we want to go to class, but only those who can afford to pay the exorbitant fees, which are his children, because probably he's a BE. Those are the people who are greedy to a level that they think they are better blacks. Because if his children can afford the 110,000 of Wits University, what about those who can't afford?
Mcebo, I'm just going to come back now. I quickly have to take a call. It's Sepiso and Davidson. Hello to you.
Good day, good evening, Cindy.
Hi.
And Dlamini. Yes, ma'am. I think the guy there is right, because it's a promise. Even Mandela, when we took over from 1994, they said we will be a free education. But for now, continuously, as the current government, they think people are stupid. They talk things at later stage, they don't achieve it. All of us, we see what ANC is doing, and now look what's happening there. The police officer, what they're doing. They come as if they are coming to respond as if there is serious crime. And the students, they were not even, doing the serious crime. They were like marching freely without damaging. But when the police arrived, they were serious, destroying the properties. I'm working Jerusalem 96. I saw that thing in my life, in my street, my eyes. And what our police doing actually in Jerusalem Street, there are the tavern, underground tavern. There is other one in Jerusalem, they call it the Bliss. It's owned by Nigerians. They distribute drugs there. Our police are not working, are not doing anything.
All right, so I think that's something that you need to also report to law enforcement. I appreciate your call.
Let me finish.
Very briefly, please.
Okay, they must get free education. That's all. They must continue fight for their free education.
All right, thanks so much, Mcebo. Just the other questions as well. We literally have a minute. If you'll just respond to that, the free fee is a process, and that it's not something that can happen overnight. Are you willing to accept that?
Well, it is a process. And we agree that it's a process that doesn't just start with us. It's a process that started a long time ago. It's a process that the current government deliberated and felt that they are ready to implement. We were expecting free education from 2013. We've been patient for long enough, and we can't be patient beyond this because quite a number of our people are still excluded. Because when we say we want access to higher education, we mean access for the poor and the rich. Because now if we go back to class, like they are saying we must go back to class, it means only the rich will go back to class because the poor has already received emails saying that you can't write exams if you are still owing the 90,000. So that's the thing that we are talking about, that it must be going back to class for everyone, not just the elite.
All right, another question, the aspirations and especially families that are ill that are not able to pay for their children's lost academic year. What happens on Monday?
There's no academic year that will be lost. People must not antagonize us and try to ridicule the process. An academic year ends in December. We are in September. How is it going to be lost? There are 3 people that will be affected if that would happen, and it won't happen. It will be the students themselves, and it will be the universities, and it will be government. But government wants to pretend as if an academic year is disturbed, only the students will be affected. Not unless the government doesn't care about the future of the country, because government must be calling students and making a commitment. It's not a commitment to call a security cluster. It means you are prepared to kill. You are already getting ready to spill blood. You are not calling people to negotiate for a commitment. Government must commit to say when are they implementing free education.
Are you going to negotiate further, or come Monday you're going to protest and disrupt class?
As things stand, there is no way in which students can go back to class without the demands they tabled are met. There's no way, because they got out of class because there were things that pushed them out. Up until they achieve those things, then it will be betrayal of the revolution and the generation that follows if we were to go back without a commitment and the demands being met.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thanks indeed for coming in. Mcebo Dlamini.